Well, yeah, I mean, since I was a kid, I always wanted to kind of excel in different areas. So, always what stood out to me was entertainment. And so that's where the rapping comes in. Education, my actual field, even though you've introduced me as a general manager, I was an aerospace engineer. Well, I still believe I am because that is what I've studied in.
Okay.
And sports, I've always been passionate about sports, so football. So I always knew that I wanted to do something in these three sectors, and I guess I'm just grateful that I carried it out until now, at least. So yeah,
Tell us your journey. So you're from India.
yeah.
You studied in India.
No, so I was born and raised in Dubai, and I went to high school here, Indian high school, and then I moved to Sharjah, did 2 years there. I did my aviation studies here in Emirates Aviation College, and then I moved to London, Kingston. I did my bachelor's and master's there, and I got a job there in the aerospace field, and worked there for. I was in London about 8 years, and then that's when I sort of came back. I've had a realization, if you would say. So basically what I wanted to do was, it was getting too corporate for me. My body was like a clock. I was just like a robot. I was getting up on time. Everything was just so on time. And one day I just, literally this just woke up. What happened to me was I was just not enjoying it anymore. And I'm always the kind of person, always whatever I do, no matter how big, there's nothing small for me. I always give it 100%, no matter what it is, what kind of commitment I'm in. So one time I went to work on that morning, that day I went to work, and I didn't feel like I was giving 100% of my energy into it. And I came back home that day and I thought to myself, and this is when my, let's say, rapping career, but, I was always rapping. We had a studio there in Kingston University. My friend was a producer, so we would go part-time, and, he would make beats and I would rap over it. So this is how we would kill our other time. So what I thought is I want to do something different, because now, okay, let's say I've spent 5 years now. I've got great experience. I've, progressed every year in my corporate ladder, let's say. And I thought I needed to do something for myself, something that I was more passionate about, and these things that was just coming naturally to me, because I always thought I was passionate about aeronautics, aviation, and I was up until that point. I don't know what happened, but I was just not enjoying it anymore, and it felt like a struggle to even wake up. Like I told you, my body was like a clock. But then the next day would be, for example, I'd wake up and I'd be like, I just lay in bed, and that's, I don't know if a lot of people would kind of relate to that feeling. I think many would do. So what happened is I just resigned within 2 days. I didn't tell no one, not family, nothing. I just resigned, went and told my manager that I wanted a new challenge, but obviously that's what I'd tell them. And all I wanted to do was take a year out, go back to India. I'm from Kerala originally. So from Cochin, I know there's a lot of people in the entertainment industry through my sister, a lot of contacts. So I thought I'd go there, spend a few months. I had a lot of songs written, a lot of songs that were not professionally produced. So I thought, okay, let me spend some time in Cochin, get all that done, and then come back to the UK. So that was my plan. So what happened was I left within a month. I came first to Dubai. Obviously my parents were here. I told them, they thought I was coming for a vacation, right? So I literally turned up at the doorstep, and I had no plan. There was no saved money. Like I had enough money for maybe a couple of months. I had no vigorous plan. All I know that I wanted to do something different in this part of my life. So I came up and I told my parents. They're like, "Oh, what's going on? You didn't tell us." I said, "Look, I resigned," and they're like, and completely flipped, because it's usually people go the other way, right? People say like go to UK, US for higher education, settle down there. There's a whole thing about getting the passports, the PR, and so on. So I came back the other way, saying I had enough of that, and so that was a challenge at first to make my parents understand what it was, because I had no definite plan with myself. So that they were asking me, "What was your plan?" And I said, I just wanted to take some time out. And then, they would all come about how would you support yourself and all that, which I didn't really, all I thought about was I could live with the bare minimum, the shelter, food, this stuff, I could do it. But as long as, I'd like to do some music and get that part of me outside than just the confines of my computer or phone. So what I did was within a month I went to Kerala where my sister was, and in coaching. So I spent some time there. I just went all out in music. We formed a band, and then I went solo. That's where I recorded my first music video, and it was basically there was no budget, so I had to basically hustle. What I did was I went to a music or drama college. I waited down. I waited for people to come out at the when the college would leave, and I literally just spoke to people saying that, would you be interested to shoot a video? I have this idea with me. So my idea was fusion based. I rap in English and then fuse it with different languages. So I thought that would be a great product to sell, or to entice a team who could work with me. What I did, I found one person who was interested, who just okay with. I told him, look, I'll provide you food and shelter for the duration of the shoot, because that's all I had with me, and they said they were okay. And so he came. We talked about this project. He created a 5-member team. So everyone down from the editor, videographer, literally the shoot, actress, everything. We got that done, and we shot the first video, and it did really well. So the first video was shot in my house in Kerala. So we just confined it, and there was just a 5-second video outside that we shot on the street, and that was it. So a bare minimum budget and just the idea. News channels came, they interviewed me, 2 of them, then came down to Dubai for a month. Over here as well, that got spread. So, and boom, now suddenly parents are on my side. So they're like, all right, you got something.